The very first episode of the YouTubers Bunch recorded in January of 2021. This is to talk about the new $35 FCC fee that's about to come down, and also the FCC, their latest proposal or statement saying that we should not use amateur radio bands to perform or plan illegal activities. There's a brainchild. Let's check this out.
Shut up and sit down.
YouTubers Bunch, first time in 2021. You know, it's been about 3 months since we all met, I believe, because November was busy, December was holiday, and I got behind on some editing on some of our past episodes. Actually, I have one more at the time of this recording. I have one more to edit that I haven't edited yet. So I'm gonna have to put that up in the next month and get this one. I want to get this one posted pretty quickly because this FCC topic is in the news today, and it might be a good topic. So let me welcome Craig, Kyle, Rob, Steve, Mike, and Callum to the show today. Thank you guys for joining me on the stream. I'm trying a couple of different things today, so we're going to see how badly I screw this up. But, you know, YouTube's all about experimentation. So I'm going to let each of you guys talk, but we're going to basically just be talking about the whole new FCC, and I'll do some overlays. I didn't grab any screenshots for this, but I've got them saved on here. So I'll do some overlays and editing about what the FCC rules say. And you know, so the new thing that came down was like, hey, don't use your radio or the airwaves to break the law. After what happened at the Capitol riots a couple weeks ago, and after, I find it curious that, you know, that's actually been used prior to that date for various disagreements that have been happening on the West Coast. I'm just going to leave it like that. And but I don't remember them saying anything about that prior to the whole Capitol thing. So welcome to the chat, everybody, today. And you guys, I'm just going to kind of leave it as a free-for-all, and I'll probably switch it to speaker view at some point. But whoever wants to, does anyone have any opinions on this? Something like that. Josh did a video on it. I think Jason from Ham Radio TV did a video on it, if I'm not mistaken. And I've seen a couple other like GMRS channels do videos on it out there as well. And this fall, I should say this too. This falls on the backside of when they just announced a $35 fee for both GMRS, a 10-year GMRS license, which is half of what it is right now, and a $35 fee for a 10-year ham radio license, which we've never had, but well, not since I've been it. We haven't had it for a long, long time, for several decades. So please, the floor is whoever wants to take it.
Well, as an outsider, one of the reasons I particularly wanted to come in tonight is actually listen, because even people were commenting on my channel when I got the ARRL mug, you know, from David.
Yes.
He sends you a mug, and I get, you know, basically some sort of accusation that I'm breaking the law. And as a complete outsider from the UK, I mean, I've read roughly what's going on. I don't know all the nuances, but basically they're reminding us, don't use your ham radio ticket to break the law, you know.
That's
and
right. Yeah.
I think to myself, okay, next.
Right.
Is there a deeper issue?
And if you're good, you get a mug.
British, you get a mug. And if you're in Australia, you get a broken mug.
That's right. Yeah. Hayden's was broken. But I said, how dare you break that mud? He goes, no, it arrived this way. I was like, oh, okay, you're good.
So I'm fascinated to listen. I'll go on mute while you guys shoot the breeze.
Okay. All right. Good. Thanks for being here, Callum. Yeah. I don't like it when we do these issues that are not worldwide issues, but I do appreciate you being here because you provide some outsider insight. So that's always good.
Just for clarification and comparing, Callum, is there a fee to get your amateur radio license in the UK?
It's these days there's no fee. You pay for the exam and that's it.
And how much is the exam?
Oh, the equivalent of $35, something like that. To be honest, though, and I remember I was having a chat about this, Jason, I think Rob was here as well, and maybe Mike, and we were talking about the cost. If you remember, I can't remember if there was someone. I think in New Zealand and VK it's a lot more expensive. But
Right.
I would be happier paying $50 a year or something, knowing that the people in charge of the spectrum who were looking after me were running around in vans chasing up interference and stuff. But anyway, I don't, so I get it for free, and I just suffer the fact that I can't do anything about it if somebody interferes with me.
That was the episode we recorded when they had the proposed fee.
Yeah, the $50.
It was a proposal.
Okay.
And we recorded a video on that, which was very good. It had some really good feedback on that video. And then of course, when it came down to it, they announced they said, okay, we're not going to do a $50 fee. We're going to do a $35 fee. It's for 10 years. And quite frankly, as I said in the video that I recorded myself, I don't care. It's $3.50 a year. So I'll drink one less cup of coffee this year than I would have. You know, seriously, I don't care. Ham radio is worth much, much, much more than that to me anyway. The issue I had with it was I don't think we're going to actually get any more, what's the word I'm looking for? Regulation of the like policing of the bands and fining of people who are breaking the laws on the bands already.
It's just a money grab. We've said it before.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, you know, the fees are one thing. What they do with the money is kind of my question, because FCC wants to bring down this thing that says, hey, don't break the law. Well, get on freaking 80 meters, dude. I mean, seriously, that's been going on for years. I mean, don't break the law. How do they not want us to break the law? Because if you listen to those yahoos on 80 meters, and I think sometimes 20 meters, you know, they're using foul language. They're giving call signs that if you look them up on QRZ, they don't exist. And they're just, you know, causing all kinds of havoc. And I'm like, well, why is this not a thing? So
yeah, aren't they suggesting we shouldn't plan a crime or commit a crime with our radio rather than break our conditions?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, if you're saying, hey, we're going to hit the bank at 7 p.m. tonight, that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I didn't really know that was a thing, though.
For the computer, somebody's got to pay the admin staff. Yeah. So, you know, $35 every 10 years probably just buys 4 or 5 people and a manager in a little office somewhere to make sure everybody gets issued with the right stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Capitalist way of looking at it. True. I said I was going to go on mute, so I will.
Okay. All right. Somebody else talk.
Yeah, I guess, you know, as far as the fee goes, I'll play devil's advocate a little bit on this, but I never like paying for something that I didn't have to pay for before. This is a tax increase, is basically what it is. Mm-hmm. But as far as tax increases go, it's a tax increase for the people that are using the service. So us ham radio people, we're using the service of the FCC to get licensed and supposedly police the bands or whatever. So we're paying for that, and people who are not FCC licensed are not having to pay for it. So in that regard, I guess it's a fair tax increase, if you want to call a tax increase fair. But the one thing that I would have liked to have seen, if this had to be rolled out, which the way I understand it, there was a law that came down and said that there had to be a fee. I really would have liked to have seen the fee be as low as possible for first-time licensees, because that's really the big issue with that is, you know, people just starting out being able to kind of afford a license. As it is now, they have to pay the $15 testing fee, which isn't too bad. But now they have to pay the $35 to actually get licensed. And that may deter some younger people that don't have a lot of income or whatever. So I guess I would have liked to have seen that, where make your first license as low as possible, and then maybe charge a little extra for like a vanity call or something that's not technically necessary or whatever. But other than that, I don't really have a strong opinion on the fee. As far as the don't break the law ruling, I mean, that's probably just a CYA thing, given everything that's going on in the news now. As you guys say, I you know, a licensed ham radio person knows better for the most part. I think it's really all the other people that are, you know, getting their Baofangs on Amazon and using them for other things that I think the FCC is probably worried about more than any of us doing anything with them.
Right. Agreed.
I'd be curious if the fee is really going to affect anyone younger getting into the hobby. Because when you think about it, any hobby, unless it's like collecting sand, is going to be pretty expensive, you know?
Yeah.
So for example, when I was 12 years old, I started playing guitar. Well, you don't have a job when you're 12 years old. I think I actually did. But my first guitar, I saved up, you know, like birthday money and chores and all kinds of stuff. And it might have been $150. It was a used Series 10 was the name. Like, who is that? But I wanted to play guitar, so I made it happen. And, you know, now I don't play that guitar anymore, but, you know, but that's just the guitar. Then you need to get an amplifier and a guitar cable and strings and picks and things. So it's kind of everything that goes along with radio. You know, you get a Bofang or something, you get your license, you take your exam, then you'll probably graduate to like a mobile VHF, UHF radio and maybe a little bit better antenna. So it's kind of, you know, I don't see it being that big of a deal. I don't think it's really going to affect the number of new licensed hams we see. I would wish and hope that the $35 goes towards spectrum defense.
Right.
You know, they're not going to get in their Scooby-Doo vans and start triangulating people on 7200s. It's not going to happen.
Right.
I don't expect it to, but you know, they're auctioning off spectrum space to all of these wireless giants like it's going out of style. And that's really what this money should be for. If I'm paying to defend the spectrum, I have no problem with it. No problem whatsoever.
Yeah, the way I understand it, the money goes into the general fund. It doesn't go to the FCC even. I think that's the way the law was written. Somebody smarter than me can look that up. But
well, that's just silly.
But yeah, I think that's what's going on.
It's going to go to line politicians' pockets. Let's be honest. That's all it's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of with you guys on that. I mean, I don't have a problem with it paying. I think the group of people that it will affect the most are these folks who get their license and never do anything with it. And then when it comes time to renew, maybe they get an email, maybe they get a letter in the mail, and they say, "Hey, it's time to renew. Just fill out the form and send it back, and we'll renew you for 10 years." Well, now there's going to be a $35 fee on top of that, and a lot of people are going to be like, "I haven't used that in years. I'm not going to renew." So I think you'll see the number of licensed hams go down from that regard. Now, those are non-active hams. So is it going to affect anything that on the repeaters of the airwaves now? Nah, probably not. And I would like to see, I would like to set up, and I'm still kind of working on this. I got a couple of ideas, and I'm probably going to say something on the live stream I'm doing tonight. I would like to set up some sort of scholarship fund that we as hams, not we as YouTubers, but everybody as hams are capable of donating to, even if it's just like $1 or $2, and put it all into like some sort of scholarship fund. And then if we hear about like a group of high schoolers, like Steve can tell us about people getting licensed in his classroom and Boy Scouts and people like this, and say, well, I've got a group of 5 or 10 kids and they want to get licensed, but you know, a couple of them are okay to pay for their own license, but a couple of them, you know, that they have an actual issue where they're like, if I have to pay for this, I can't do it. Well, then the scholarship fund goes to pay a $35 fee to those children. I'll say children, people under 21, really, is what I would consider doing the first time. And even people with maybe people with like disabilities or something. You know, if
people are having a hard time.
Right. Yeah. Somebody who's got some sort of life instance or something like that. It doesn't have to be a hard set rule. Say you must be under 21 or something like that. Yeah. But I'd like to set up some sort of scholarship fund to do something like that. So I've been doing a little bit of research on that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. Anybody out in the audience that has an idea that you could throw my way, or one of you guys has an idea, let me know. Yeah. But
see, I was just thinking that today. I thought, I could allocate 10 or 20 antenna kits to needy people, or could I put it into a fund or something? But the problem is with all these things is how do you not so much police it, but because I get a lot of requests, oh, can I have a free antenna because I'm only 15? And like Mike, I had to go and do a paper round, cut people's lawns, wash cars.
Right.
My dad, to buy my first drum set, my dad didn't even buy me the spanner, to adjust the skins. He said, if you want a drum set, go and earn the money and buy a drum set.
Right.
And I did. Now, if I was incapable of going out and sweeping somebody's driveway or washing their car or whatever, that'd be a different matter. But so I said to these kids, they came on, there's 13 of us, and we want the DX Commander because we're setting up this new club, and they're all about 15 years old. I said, great, so that's only going to be like a tenner each or whatever, yeah, well, we were thinking of getting it for free. I said, do you have paper rounds or anything like that?
Come over and rake my lawn.
Yeah,
Actually,
come over
the
and cut my
physics
grass.
teacher got in touch with me, and I said, oh, it's for your little club you're setting up. He said, yes, it is. But what you said to them, I thought was more valuable than sending them a free DX Commander, he said. Tell them to go and just earn some pennies, man. I mean, Mike, you and I did that. I'm sure the rest of the guys here did it as well.
You appreciate it a lot more too.
Yeah, something you had to work for.
Maybe
Did they even have paper routes anymore? I don't even know.
No,
Not around
not out
here.
here. They used to.
Yeah.
One of the big papers, the Register, used to have them in Orange County, but too many freaks out there. They canceled it.
I just,
You can still rake leaves and mow lawns and
yeah.
whatever. You can find
Yeah,
something
yeah.
to do.
Mike, you
Got it,
said you
Mike.
didn't have a job at 12 years old. I did.
I think I did actually.
Yeah.
I started working pretty young. I'm pretty sure I did have a job.
I started my own business at 12 years old, mowing lawns. We actually got like a DBA and did the whole 9 yards. Me and a friend of mine, and we did that for like 5 years. So I wasn't.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have an employer besides myself until I was 17 because I was self-employed for 5 years before that.
Wow.
So
well, these days you can get on like TaskRabbit or rover.com and walk dogs, and
Yeah.
I mean there's a whole list of things that you can do, and if you're smart about it when you're 16, I mean I bagged groceries whenever I was 16, and there's like 10 jobs that you can do at 16. Now there's like 16,000 because of the internet.
yeah.
When
And
I
you,
was, I was when
Go
I
ahead,
was
Craig.
12, my dad owned a company, tube bending company. He had me driving forklifts and all that good stuff. And then when I announced to him I wanted to one day take over his company, he put a mop in my hand and had me swapping out the bathrooms.
Yeah,
Told me I'm going to learn it from the ground up.
brilliant.
He wasn't
One
kidding.
day I'm going to clean up this town.
yeah, that's
Sure.
right.
You can start by sweeping the floors.
One urinal at a time.
I'm going to be on Fry soon.
I
That's
did
from-
that at Carl's Jr.
That's from Back to the Future, and I'm not going to say what he said after that. But
So great idea, Jason. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about it. But did anybody watch Keith Fenner on? He's a machinist on the internet, and he used to do what he called a toolbox giveaway every year, and people, I would send him things, and he would build all these toolboxes for people who wanted to get into machining or at school or stuff. But to qualify for the big toolbox, which was probably very valuable, there was drill bits and all sorts of stuff. Is they had to make a couple of minutes of video to qualify for what they want to achieve and how they want to achieve. So there was some effort involved to get into the basket, and then I think people voted, or Keith decided that these 6 are going to get the toolboxes.
that's a good idea. I guess my point in setting up a scholarship, okay. I don't want the $35 fee. You're right. People can go out, they can rake lawns, they can mow lawns, rake leaves, mow lawns, they can do whatever, right? But maybe they should be doing that to buy their first radio. Because if they're gonna, and I guess you could say it this way, you could say, well, if a $35 10-year license is going to keep you from getting into amateur radio, then you might as well not get into it because it's going to cost a lot more than that to buy your first radio.
Well, how
or
about
antenna, base station, whatever like that?
Right.
But I just, if we can get people licensed, then they can go out and rake leaves and mow lawns to earn money to buy their first radio. That's the way I look at it. I'm not saying
Okay.
that's the right way, but that's
Yeah.
my thought.
why doesn't some of these big vendors give discounts if you got your tech license in the last 90 days.
I like that.
We'll give you, X amount of dollars
Yeah.
up to
We'll give you a ticket
$35.
back.
Yeah. We'll give you your ticket
There you
back.
go. That's a
And
good idea.
if you buy an
Great
ICOM,
idea.
radio, and you buy it through
I can
DX
do that
Engineering, it's $35 off. You'll get the coupon, emailed to you, and all you have to do is fill it out and verify that your license is within 90 days,
Mhm.
and $35 off right there.
That's
Love
good.
it.
That is a great idea. That is that is a great idea. I didn't think of it from that regard, but I like that.
Actually, didn't the ARRL kind of used to do that? I don't know if they still do, but I remember when I first got licensed, I got like a free membership for a year or something.
I
So
know
it
a
was
lot of
kind of the same thing.
I know a lot of clubs that do that. My club.
Yeah,
all
ours
the,
does
all
too.
the clubs that
Yeah.
that teach all the tech and general classes that I've put on YouTube. When you first get licensed, they give you one free year of membership to that club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of
we
clubs
do
that,
too,
don't they?
and our retention rate is horrible.
Yeah, ours is
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I think that's pretty common. But I know main training company out here in Paris, Texas, they used to tell you that hey, if you come to HamCom, our big Hamfest in Texas that got canceled a while back. If you come to HamCom and buy something from us, we'll give you a $15 credit, which was the price of a ticket to get into HamCom. Kind of
Wow.
the same thing.
Hmm.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's what the big manufacturers should do: is
it's a good idea.
buy your first rig through us. We'll set up a couple of vendors, Ham Radio Outlet, DX Engineering, whatever, RNL, MTC. You verify that your ticket you got your ticket, 90 days ago or 180 days or whatever the case may be. We'll give you a voucher. You send it in. We'll cut you a check for $35.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
I like that also.
It'd have to be something higher than like the Yaesu.
Yeah.
What are those cheap Yaesus?
Yeah.
The FT4,
Yeah, it'd have to-
XR and
FT65.
things.
FT6.
Yeah.
Those are like
FT4,
$75 to begin with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure they still got profit in them, even if you did $35 off.
Well,
But
Callum,
I don't think the vendors would be too happy.
Callum, you could do that for someone who gets their upgrade from Tech to General. So you get your upgrade from Tech to General, $35 discount on a brand new DX Commander, because that's when they're going to use
Yeah.
your antenna anyways when they're a General.
Yeah.
So
Well, what I mean, I've got to be slightly nationalistic. So what I was thinking of doing is, if you've passed your foundation license in the UK, which is, I think, similar to tech,
mhm.
I might give them the price of the exam if they buy the full 9 yards or something,
It's a good idea.
So just remind me, the tech license in the US, is that kind of VHF and 10 meters or something? I can never remember.
Yeah.
It's basically
Yeah.
50
Portion of
megahertz
10.
and up.
50 and up, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you get some CW privileges on HF and you get some.
You get the sideband portion of 10 meters.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, okay.
They've talked about adding FT8 to 10 meters. Did they ever do that? Or FT8 to multiple bands for techs? I think they had talked about doing that.
Well, FT8's in the, no, they can do sideband only techs.
Yeah, that's
So
how
they
it's
wouldn't
been.
be able to do
Used to be,
FT8.
you could only do 28.3 to 28.5 single sideband on
Uh-huh.
10 meters if you were a tech, which does not include the FM repeater portion of the band, which is up around 29 megahertz.
Yeah.
I wish there was a place we could look this up.
I know.
Well, I know what it used to
If
say.
only there was a web of
Yeah.
electronics.
Or an inter thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Mike,
computers
you'd
that all.
invent that, mate.
My point is, my point is they were talking about changing it a while back, and I don't know if they ever did. I know what it used to be. I just don't know if it's changed in the last year or so.
All right. So on 10 meters, novice, that doesn't exist anymore, and
Mhm.
tech have Ridian data from 2800 or 28.0 all the way up to 28.3.
Mhm.
And then they also have single sideband privileges from 28.3 to 28.5, so the
Mhm.
lower portion of the band.
Okay.
Where's
So
FT8?
500 kilohertz.
28074 on 10 meters?
I don't know.
Something like that.
don't get on
I
FT8 10
believe
meters
that's
too
correct.
much.
I believe it's 28074, but
So they could do digital there.
So
So
they
they'll
can do
get that
digital on
then.
10 meters.
Yeah.
That's
digital
fine.
on 10 meters. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, for the longest time, I know it was 28.3 to 28.5 single sideband on 10 meters because that's what I always wanted to do. But every time I went down there, people were talking above 28.5.
Yeah.
So
Drat.
Yeah. And
So
they
then they get some So the really keen ones, they can go on CW and get some extra HF as well.
Yeah, on CW, you've got 15 meters,
Ah,
40 meters,
nice.
and 80 meters.
Okay.
CW only.
Yeah. So and then that 80 meters would be down at 3.5 something.
Yeah, 3525 to 36.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Techs also get full power. They're not limited to like 10 watts or whatever.
They get 100.
No, 1500.
1500.
Jeez.
Full
really?
legal limit, brother. This is America, man. We're free, brother.
Well, in this country, we just break the bloody rules. Sorry,
Yeah.
Jason, you'd have to edit that out.
No.
It's an old military expression.
Well, Mike said this was America, and what he's leaving out is in South America. There's actually no limit at all because I think there's like 10 kW stations down there.
Wow.
So
That's why you've got a station down in where is it?
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's only a 100-watt station, but if we wanted to run more than 1.5
Mhm.
kW down there, we could legally do it.
Yeah.
That would be totally
Who's
cool.
gonna know, honestly?
Yeah,
Well, exactly.
but
So actually, just to be technical here, I think the techs have legal limit on 6 meters and above because the chart that I'm looking at, it says in parentheses beside the tech, and then
200.
it's 200 watts.
Yeah, I thought it was like 200 watts, Pep.
Yeah.
And
okay.
if you want to run 1500 watts on 2 meters to the repeater,
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, right.
Single
Go ahead.
sideband 2 meter across the country, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, cool. Well, we spent most of the time talking about the fees and not really the whole "don't break the law" thing. But
Yeah.
I pulled up KB6NU writes a good blog. It's just kb6nu.com, and
He's a good Michigan boy.
yeah, Dan's a good dude.
I thought you were from Texas now, Mike.
I live in Texas.
He's
I mean,
not
technically,
from
I'm from
Texas.
technically
Well,
I'm from
you
Florida.
were taught in the TX on Friday night pretty heavily.
Yeah,
I mean,
you were.
I
you
will
crossed that-
forever be.
I know.
You
I
crossed
love it
that
here.
border, and they already gave you the papers and signed you up for the training class.
It's funny because when I got onto I-45 finally, going south to where I am now, I passed a boot store right on the freeway. I'm like, I gotta go in there.
So did you leave with boots? That's the question.
I'm still searching for the right pair. I gotta get some rattlesnake proof boots is what I really need.
Mm.
I'm gonna be
No, you
trudging
got-
through these forests with my radio. So many people commented on my video, like, you gotta watch out for chiggers and ticks and rattlesnakes and copperheads and wild boar and like everything in the world wants to kill you here. So
That's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
we've got all that up at the hunting lease where we'll be for winter field day. But
Sweet.
in the winter time, the really thing you really have to watch out for is rats and wild boar or feral hogs, really. But they're not. They don't come around because we always shoot them when they do. So they try to stay
Yeah.
away from us.
We'll be calling CQ, and then just like a whole pack of wild boar are gonna come running
Yeah,
towards us.
Yeah. But Dan's article, he's got this. He kind of quotes the article, and again, I'll put a screen overlay here. FCC Enforcement Bureau today issued an enforcement advisory warning amateur and professional radio services licensees and operators that they may not use radio equipment to commit or facilitate criminal acts.
That's right.
And then blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, down at the bottom, he says, this, of course, is in response to the call by some to use amateur radio in place of social media outlets such as Twitter and Parler. Here's a CNN story, which he links to, but he doesn't quote, reporting on this. And, of course, preppers have been getting licenses for years. I find it kind of funny that the FCC would issue such a statement. After all, isn't it obvious that using personal radio services for illegal purposes is also illegal? So I kind of liken that to without the obvious gun argument. Okay. So I'll just let you guys think what you want to about that. But I thought of another analogy. I kind of liken that to buying a new car, whatever, say you buy a Mustang, Camaro, whatever. And it's got a 120 mile per hour speedometer in it. Okay, does that mean I can do 120 miles an hour down the freeway because the speedometer says it goes to 120, so that must mean I can go that fast, right?
Only in West Texas.
Only, only in that freeway between Waco
Between
and San Antonio.
Midland and El Paso. That's it.
Yeah, well, there too. Yeah, but they got that new toll road that goes between like basically Georgetown and south of San Antonio now. That's like 85 miles an hour the whole way, and just it's fun. You just set your cruise control on 90 and go to town. But
You saw Mike's eyes when you said that. He was like, "Oh, okay."
He's like, "Oh."
I like to drive fast, man.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, it's an odd statement. And I kind of wonder if they were pressured into it because maybe some news media outlets came to them and said, "Hey, all these guys have bowfangs strapped to their vests on this news story out here. What are you going to do about it?" And they're like, "Okay, fine. We'll just make a statement." And I wonder how much of that was true, actually.
And I think most of those bowfangs were probably still on the default frequency and still speaking Chinese.
Right.
Oopsie.
Right. Yeah.
To me, it almost sounds like the FCC is taking a page out of the NRA's playbook on a little CYA.
Yeah.
The NRA has been trying to
Yeah.
defend everything for 100 and some odd years.
Mhm.
Now the FCC, someone saw Supercom's guy down there at the Capitol with 15 bowfangs hanging off of him.
Mhm.
So now they're doing, I mean, I know when I went to the academy, the police academy out here in California, they always said tools of the trade. If you're using anything from a screwdriver to a crowbar, baseball bat, nunchucks, radio, and the gangs here do it all the time, Bloods, Crips,
Mhm.
they have the peewees using the radios to let the big dealers know when the quote unquote 5-0 is coming down the street.
You can only get those
Nothing
Bloods
new.
and Crips licensed.
Yeah.
Get them,
Yeah,
get them to do like
Oh,
a park.
you know they've got money.
activation.
Yeah.
You know they've got the money for a good radio.
They can pay for their $35 fee.
They know how to run a club.
Yeah,
This
right.
is true. Initiation can
There
be
you
rough,
go.
though.
There you go.
But leaving the club is even worse.
Yeah. You don't want to leave that club.
We haven't
Lifetime
heard you on the
membership.
repeater in 2 months. You need to come with us.
Break all your antennas.
All right.
I'm with Rob. I think they just, they either were pressured to do something, or they were like, you know what, we're going to put this out just to make sure that they understand that we're going to cover our butt, and just to reiterate the fact of just don't do anything illegal. But
It's just
again,
so random, though.
It is. I
Like-
thought it was very random.
well,
That's
I
like
didn't say anything.
that's like the Department of Motor Vehicles issuing a statement. Now, kids,
well,
don't
whenever
use your car to commit a crime. Like,
yeah, but whenever you get lawyers involved, I'm not saying the lawyers are bad, but I'm sure that the lawyers probably said, hint, hint, wink, wink. We probably want to make sure that we're got everybody in line, and let's put out this communication and let's nip this in the bud before it gets out of control.
Mhm.
I just find it funny they didn't say anything when Portland was ablaze and Washington was setting up its own little anarchy camps.
See,
It
that's
wasn't
my
until
thing.
the
Yeah.
Capitol got hit.
Yeah.
Then, have a guy running through there with Viking horns.
What a-
Then all of a sudden it's a
moron.
problem.
Yeah, yeah. And you can see if you go back and watch news coverage of these other, the Portland and the Seattle and the California stuff. All those guys are wearing bowfangs too. So I've seen that multiple times. So I'm like, why now? I mean, you guys should have made the statement like a year and a half ago. Seriously,
Well, it's closer to home for them now.
Yeah.
perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
don't
so.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought it to their backyard.
Yeah.
Yep.
both fangs stormed the White House.
It gives a whole new definition to the term Chinese invasion. So
Yep.
Yeah, they
Oh.
won't.
Well, we
touch
had the
White
British
House.
invasion. We're having
Right.
the Chinese invasion.
that's right.
now.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
I'm just still got the visual of the Crips and the Bloods running the clubs and coming in and taking over the ham radio world. On
7200. would
this
get
is our
interesting.
club now, boys and girls.
Instead of the secret password, they got to give their call sign.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh gosh, that's hilarious, man. Okay, well, hey, this was good. Somebody's hit me up on Discord. Let me see who that is. Oh, there's Hayden. Oh, so Hayden's doing his asking
Ask
Elmer
Elmer.
tonight. So
Yeah.
so I'll I'm gonna leave it. we'll go ahead and leave it there. Anybody watching the audience, please comment below with your thoughts on this. We're not really trying to pick sides one way or the other. We're just reporting the news the way that Walter Cronkite used to do, and no one has done since.
Here's Tom with the weather.
Right. So everybody's got an opinion, which is good. It's good. No judgment to be passed, but yeah, crazy times over here. I might move to London and look up Callum when I get there. So
I don't
As soon as they come off lockdown.
right, right, true. Oh boy. So okay, anybody got anything else before we close it down?
Good.
Nothing random, anybody? That he can make a little short from? Someone got a personal statement or would like to come out or something?
Come out means something different over here, Callum.
What does it mean over there then? If you hit the stop recording button.
What does it mean?
Well,
Ask
and it's
Gabe.
lockdown. We can't get out. We've had snow today, by the way. We've had about
You've had
all of
snow.
2
Really?
inches of snow.
Wow.
And it's that crunchy stuff. Normally, when it snows here, it goes sloshy instantly. We actually had crunchy snow.
Nice.
Did you make a snowman?
No, I just threw the tennis ball, which became a snowball, and then the dogs couldn't find it.
You should get out there and make a snowman in that wet snow.
Like a snow
there was
dipole.
lots of snowmen. The children make the snowmen. I just walk past as if, like a grumpy old man does.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. That's what I was going to say.
Well, it's nice being seeing you all again. I haven't been around for the last couple, have I, Jason?
Well, we haven't done one since like October. That's what I was saying.
Oh, really?
earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
thought I'd been bailing out.
No, we've been kind of quiet through November, December, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, all that kind of good stuff. And I fell behind on editing some of the
Okay.
previous episodes we had recorded. So I just kind of let the 2020 die out. And I thought we'll get back to it. I want to do this more often in 2020. I want to get back to our monthly meeting in 2021 and
Yes.
keep a little bit more on top of the editing and time and getting stuff posted on time and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
you guys feel free to hold me accountable to that, because I definitely want to do that.
Mhm.
But
I'd just like to say hello to WJ6F. I don't know his real name.
it's Craig.
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 I've seen a couple of. Well, I don't watch everybody's video, and the reason being is I've calculated that if we watched everybody else's video, there wouldn't be enough time to live, eat,
No.
go to the toilet, and make our own stuff.
True.
Nope.
There must
No,
be
there
more than
wouldn't.
24 hours
No.
of ham radio content
Oh my
produced every
gosh.
day.
I was looking the other day, and somebody was doing a premiere at the same time somebody else was live, and I'm like, at first I looked at that, I thought, why did they not check with each other? And then I'm like, this is a good thing. Too much ham radio content on YouTube where we have all this overlap is actually a good thing.
Mhm.
So, it's kind of how you look at it. It's just, go back and watch it later. I'm with you, Callum. I don't watch everybody's every
No,
video.
It's impossible.
I try to catch as many of Mike's as I can. Kyle only posts about once every other month. It's easy to watch his. Steve put up a good one today about updating the firmware on the 705, which is what my video tomorrow is about.
Wow, that's
So
handy.
yeah, so it's good stuff there. But
I know that Ape doesn't watch all the videos because I bashed him for 20 minutes and he commented, "Good video, Kyle." So,
Or he might just agree with you. I mean,
No,
that's
yeah.
possible.
so I knew he
Yeah,
didn't watch
he is
that
a-
video, but he just commented.
that's
So
awesome.
I noticed Rob comes on quite a lot.
Yeah, Rob's on there pretty good amount.
Rob comments to my stuff. Yay, Rob. And Mike.
Yeah, I watched some of your
Kyle
stuff.
occasionally.
Yeah, I watch all. Callum, I watch every single one of your videos. I don't necessarily comment, but I watch every single one.
I'm your biggest
You must be
fan.
bloody mad.
I am. I am.
He's going for the gold star and the free DX.
right.
I
commander
was
upgrade.
Callum. I was cringing when I was watching you route all those tables and stuff inside your new command
I know.
center. I'm like,
Oh, I know.
why the hell did you not do that outside?
Do you know
You
why?
got to vacuum up all this
It's
sawdust.
Yeah,
got
do you know
snow.
why? we could not lift it more than about 10 feet.
Oh.
Really? It's that heavy?
They must weigh getting on for 200 pounds a piece.
Yeah, those things are
Wow.
solid.
Yeah, I was just like,
My
why
boy
are you
is only
doing that
little, you know.
inside?
Yeah.
So
But
where
that-
did you actually buy the shelving units that you put in that for your antenna storage? Is there just an
that was
industrial place?
second hand. There's a big company about 20 miles from here, VPM UK or something, and he's got links to all the liquidators, people, the factories that are going busts, and all he's interested is he probably gets the racking for free. Actually, he just says, "I'll take it out the warehouse for you." So he's got this huge plot of land. And a couple of guys, and they jet wash it all down and make it all nice again, stack it all up. And then I came along. I didn't know what I wanted, but I described. He said, "Okay, you want 2 of these, 3 of these, 5 of these, and that sort of thing." And then they delivered it. And so he makes a living, and I get it for, well, it was about $1,000, the whole lot delivered.
Yeah,
Which I thought
that's
was a
not
pretty
bad
good
for
deal.
that quantity of stuff. Yeah, that's heavy duty
Yeah.
shelving.
It looks good too.
Yeah.
For sure.
There we are,
Yeah.
Jason. Gave you a little bit for your end of your video.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still remember the first time I saw Lord Callum's first video. I turned it on. I'm like, this looks interesting. Turn on, I see a guy with a mohawk. I'm like, oh, this is going to be good.
Oh, this is
I cannot pass this up at all. Being the old Benny Hill
Everybody's just
fan
waiting for me to make
that
a
I was.
huge cock up. I know.
It's funny. My wife saw the first time I was watching Callum. She goes, "What in the world are you watching?" And I was like, "He's
Talking
good."
about bananas.
Yeah.
Bananas. I haven't
And
done any
Wrigley's.
bananas recently.
Every time I post a comment on one of Callum's videos, I always like, "Hey, Callum, great video, top banana."
Yep.
That's right. He says top banana. Very London, Mike, that top banana. Have you heard that expression before, Mike? Top banana, man.
I've never
Top
heard. I've
banana.
never heard that.
Wow.
Even when I was in London, I didn't hear that. I
Very
heard,
random.
I heard cheers all the time, but if I ever get the opportunity to go back to London, I'm going to say top banana to a lot of people.
Just to
And
everybody.
I'm just going to say, "Hey, top banana to you," and see what kind of look to say. I'm going to say it. I might even work on my Texas drawl between now and then, and see if I can say it in an accent.
It'll be like Crocodile Dundee. When Crocodile Dundee, he's in New York, and it's like saying hello to everybody because he's used to that sort of very small. Jason will be in London. Excuse me, do you know Lord Callum?
That'd be awesome.
Lovely.
The only reason I know about Top Banana is my brother-in-law is from Grimsby, so I hear him pop it off every now and again.
Okay. Nice one.
Good.
Okay, shall I go back to mutes now?
No, we're gonna close it down. Thanks for everyone watching today. Check the description below for links to everyone's channel, and you guys wave goodbye.
7-3, guys.
7-3 to everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.